When the Howard government moved into remote Northern Territory Indigenous communities back in 2007, it divided opinion. Some labelled it discriminatory. Many called for it to be scrapped. But the intervention looks set to continue, with the Gillard government saying it's what Aboriginal people want. Tom Nightingale reports from Alice Springs.
Not everyone agrees on the federal intervention. But what is agreed is that more Aboriginal children need to go to school more often.
And in the end, if payments need to be suspended, they will be.
To that end, the government's spruiking the results of consultations earlier this year. It says Aboriginal people are clearly in favour of docking the welfare payments of errant parents.
They want this. If you ask the people here who run this school, they think that's a good idea.
An independent Aboriginal school in Alice Springs was the backdrop for today's events. The school pays for transport to bring kids to classes, but still struggles to top 60% attendance.
There is no quick solution. The changes will come in generations. It'll take a long while.
200 students are enrolled at the Yiperinya school. Attendance is relatively low, but staff say several programs keep it from dropping further.
The fact that we have a nutrition program here, I think, is an advantage, because many of the children don't have proper meals at home. And so by coming to school, at least they know they get a decent meal. That's a help. The fact that we have an Indigenous language and culture program is also, I think, critical, because they recognise this is their school, we're teaching them their languages, and that's important. Those things all help.
Today's report says people in remote areas say parents struggle with grog, gunja and gambling problems.
Getting them to school, attendance is obviously a vital one, that's most important. But then what you do within the school is critical. It's important to have good teachers and good staff.
The government's own figures show attendance has fallen over the last 3 years. The opposition says the government is simply re-announcing old news.
As I look at the Stronger Futures in the Northern Territory report, there's nothing new to us. There's nothing surprising in here at all.
Not everyone believes the federal intervention is on the right track.
There is an ingrained racism in the policies that come out of our government.
People out in the communities have been saying, especially Aboriginal teachers, the parents should be held responsible. They are not getting their kids to school.
The federal government's already trialling a program in the Northern Territory and Queensland linking school attendance with welfare payments. That trial will now be extended without knowing whether it works.
We'll continue to assess it in Brisbane as well, of course, but we'll roll it out further here and then, of course, do a proper evaluation.
For the second day in a row, Jenny Macklin's time in Alice Springs was interrupted by anti-intervention protesters.
Dirty back of assimilationism. I'm the Mac Daddy mother of white paternalism. I'm the sinister minister.
Whether remote Aboriginal people are singing the same tune is anyone's guess. Tom Nightingale, Lateline.